7.
Wait, I don't have my agenda. You don't have what? My agenda. We have nothing really, but...
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Can I have a roll call, please?
Councillor Clements?
Present.
Councillor Langevin?
Present.
Councillor Marcucci? Councillor McDonald?
Again.
Councillor Moriarty?
Present.
Councillor Nicola?
Present.
Councillor Peliquin?
Present.
Councillor Regis?
Present.
Councillor Vandal?
Present.
7 here.
Thank you. Agenda item number 3, consider and accept town council meeting minutes of Monday, February 25th, 2013.
So moved. Second.
Second. All in favor?
Abstain, Madam Chair.
One abstention. Thank you. Okay, agenda item number 4, subcommittee reports. A, general government. Councilor Regis.
No report, Madam Chair, and no meeting scheduled at this time.
Thank you. B, DPW. Councilor Vandal.
No report, no meeting scheduled. Thank you.
Thank you. C is Education and Human Services. There is a meeting scheduled for tomorrow night at 6 o'clock with the school committee, and that will be up here in the George Parent Community Room, but there are no meeting minutes at this point. D, Planning and Development. Councilor Clements.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have no meeting scheduled and no minutes to read this evening.
Thank you. E, Protection of Persons and Property. Councilor Langevin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have no report, but I do have a meeting scheduled for next Monday, March 11th, 7 o'clock in the Rice Conference Room pertaining to the marijuana bylaw. So we'll be discussing that further. So I urge anyone that has any questions, please show up. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Chairwoman's announcements. I have none this evening. 6 is Town Manager's announcements. Mr. Clark.
Madam Chair, I do have just a couple of announcements. The first one is we have received some correspondence from Tri-Epic. We are one of the towns that participates in that group. It's a regional emergency planning committee, and they've sent a letter to its members asking for a request to support their fundraising to continue the John Hart Memorial Scholarship Fund. It's a fund that gives approximately 2 $500 scholarships to any high school senior pursuing an education in the field of public safety, medicine. And I think here it had, I think the last 2 scholarships were awarded. One was to Shepherd Hill and the other was to someone from Southbridge High. So they're seeking funding for that. If you are interested in making a donation, the donation can be made to Tri-Epic Regional. Or you could drop off the donations at any of the local 6 fire departments. Obviously, I think the one in Southbridge here would be close enough. And then the donation should be made out to the John J. Hart Memorial Scholarship Fund. So we did receive that correspondence from them, and I just wanted to officially announce that. I do have 2 other announcements. One is I'd like to defer to the cable operator to give him a chance to go through some of the recent changes, positive changes that we've made in the studio and the station.
Hello. Thank you, Mr. Clark, Madam Chair. Just wanted to let everybody know that Channel 13 has now been upgraded to fiber optic signal. So the video is better, and most importantly, the audio is better. You don't really have to turn up the TV when you switch to 13 anymore. Channel 12 is coming next, probably, I'm hoping, by the end of March. And then Channel 11 will follow by the end of April. if everything goes as planned. And I just want to also let everybody know, they may have seen a lot of older TV shows on recently, like Andy Griffith and Mr. Ed and stuff. We're not breaking any rules. They fell into public domain. Some episodes from some series have lost their copyright and stuff. So we took advantage of that with the lack of community programming coming forward, so we'll continue to do so until it picks up. But just wanted to let everybody know the good news and that we're moving forward.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
It's good news. Thanks, Mike.
And then the last is just a preview of kind of things to come at the March 18th council meeting. We are close to finalizing the budget presentation, so it's the intent to either on that night pass out the budget books, or if we're capable, we will pass them out before. I think by charter, we're supposed to have it done by the end of March, but we do have it had a schedule in order to try to accommodate the council's schedule. So I think a lot of work's gone into it, and I look forward to making that presentation at the next meeting and to then start the budget process.
Excellent.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Okay, moving on to agenda item number 7. We have a couple of presentations this evening. The first is the Relay for Life, and the tri-chairs are Lou DeMoro, Ray Funyer, and Rick Stearns.
Good evening. Thank you for inviting us. I am one of the 3 tri-chairs for this year's Relay for Life. This year's relay will be held June 14th and 15th at McMahon Field on Dresser Street. The Survivor festivities start at 4 p.m. on Friday. The relay itself starts at 6 p.m. and we go through the night until Saturday at 12 o'clock. It's a lot of fun, and we really hope to see a lot of people up there. A little bit of why I relay. I started at Southbridge's 3rd relay 13 years ago because my uncle was fighting cancer at the time. My wife and I went up just to see what was going on. We got hooked. We joined the team, and we've been involved with relay ever since. It's my 9th year as a committee member and my 6th year as one of the chairs. And I'm just hooked. I'm going to do this until we beat this disease. Some of the things that Southbridge does. I don't know if anybody knows it, but we've been here for 15 years. And in 15 years, this small relay has raised over $3 million. That's an incredible number for a relay the size of Southbridge. The last 5 years, 4 of those years, we finished in the top 25 out of over 250 relays in New England. We're in the top 10% of all the relays in New England. Again, a great accomplishment. But I think what I'm most proud of, a successful relay is one that keeps its expenses at under 10%. Southbridge, year after year, keeps our expenses under 6%. We do that by seeking a lot of donations. We shop when those things have to be bought. We shop around and get the best prices. But we're very proud of the fact that 94% of what we raise goes back to do what it's intended to do, and that's fight this awful disease. I think that's it for me. Next.
Hello, my name is Rick Stearns. I'm one of the tri-chairs for the Relay for Life in Southbridge. I've been a captain for the Hedgehog team for 15 years. Everybody asking why you relay. We try to get everybody down that we can. Last year we had like 900 walkers, 1,500 participants. And in my opinion, what a better way to show support for someone who's fighting the disease or someone who's lost the fight is put a team in their name or something like that. We have over 50 teams down there. And it's a fantastic event. Anybody's interested in coming down, anybody has any questions, our next meeting is going to be March 25th at the Knights of Columbus. And it's a great cause, okay? Thank you very much for having us.
Good evening. My name is Lou DeMoro, and I'm also one of the chairs. It's nice to see some people wearing purple this evening. I don't know if you know that, but purple is the predominant color of the Relay for Life. I don't know if it's a coincidence or not. Probably not with Sean, but I've been involved with the American Cancer Society for over 20 years, both as a volunteer and as a staff person. I used to work for them. In fact, the first year the Relay came here, I was an employee, and that was my responsibility. I was organizing the Relay for Life at that time. It's been a great partnership. I've loved every minute of it. I'm just going to spend a few minutes telling you about where the money goes that we raise, just so the public will be aware. The money funds research, prevention, detection, and patient programs. such as Road to Recovery, where we give free rides to cancer patients that can't get to their treatments. And there's several of other prevention and patient programs that we do. We've funded approximately 50 Nobel Prize winners to date. And I might add, we funded them in their early stages. We didn't jump on the bandwagon after they won the Nobel Prize. At the beginning of the 20th century, cancer was basically a death sentence. But now people are surviving cancer at an amazing rate. And it's attributed to all the research that we've done. And also the awareness, people that are able to prevent cancer from ever even happening. Over the past 20 years since I've been involved with the American Cancer Society, cure rates have improved by 40% for prostate cancer, 30% for breast cancer in women, and 20% for lung cancer in men. So we are making progress. The money that we raise does make a difference, but it's not enough. We won't quit until the cure rates are 100%. And if you'd like to ask us any questions, we'll be glad to answer them for you.
Thank you. I have a few questions. First of all, everybody knows somebody or has a relative, loved one who has had or has cancer. So it touches everybody. My question is, if somebody would like to form a team, how do they go about doing so? How do they connect with you in doing that?
You can call the ACS office in Worcester. You can call me. My phone number is 508-347-7419. I will call you back. We can meet anywhere you want, some evening of the week. If you want to have a team, I would love to see more teams. We used to have over 60 teams at our relay. We're down now to 52 to 55. So I'd love to see another 5 or 6 teams join us this year. That would be great.
Another question. You said that you have a meeting scheduled at the Knights of Columbus on March 25th. What time is the meeting?
The meeting starts at 6:30. We're there by 5 o'clock if you wanted to come early and ask any questions. All 3 chairs are there a little after 5 o'clock, setting up and decorating the place. We're trying to make ourselves as available as we possibly can.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions for these gentlemen? Sean?
I just have a couple comments. One is, in addition to contacting one of these guys, you can also go to relayforlife.org, and you can plug in your zip code and kind of find and sign up that way as well. Just a couple other notes, though. One is this has become a big community event. It's not just Southbridge. It involves other people from other towns. Each of these guys coming from out of town, and it does bring in a lot of people from not even just the tri-community area, but even further out. I know with my team, we've had people from Maryland, Florida, Connecticut, Colorado, New Hampshire that have come out for this. And in some cases, that's either staying with family, but otherwise even just frequenting local hotels or restaurants and things like that. So it's good for the town as well. And then lastly, it was touched on a little bit, but they start off with the Survivor Lap, which for survivors and their caretakers and loved ones is certainly a big thing. But really kind of the highlight for me every year is the Luminara ceremony. Later at night, once it's a little bit darker and there's no noise and they're kind of lighting candles and the bagpipes are playing and that sort of thing. That definitely touches, really kind of shakes some people to the core, but it's really an amazing event that does a lot for a lot of people. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Anybody else have anything they wish to add? I want to thank the 3 of you very, very much. I know that it's a lot of work, and you do it with a lot of love and greatly appreciate it. That's an incredible, those statistics are incredible. Thank you so very much for the work that you do.
We thank all of you for this opportunity.
Thanks. Good night. Okay, next I have a department presentation. Ronald Plouffe, Department of Recreation.
Madam Chair, members of the Council, Mr. Clark, and residents of Southbridge. My name is Ron Plouffe. I'm the Director for the Recreation Department here in Southbridge. I apologize for one thing. For the last 2 months, I've been working with the people at Cable Access, hoping to do a video presentation tonight, and for technical reasons, we can't do that. So I guess you're stuck with me. I began this stint back in October, and have been pretty busy. I was told that whenever you're in front of your boss, you always say that you're very busy, and I am. When I began, there were no tracking forms for any kind of financing or activities, so I developed new documents to handle that. I also did some work with the website for the Recreation Department. It was very lacked with information, and it needed updating real bad. So I worked on that, and also on the website, I have an area where you can download field access applications and also a participation waiver for any activity that you may partake in the town. I work with a 5-member committee. Susie Gears is the chairperson. Joe Lasavio, Gloria Berthams, she's our secretary, Jackie and Lefty Varon. And Lefty is the guy that schedules all the fields, so your applications would come to me and I would forward them to Lefty, and he would make sure that fields and areas are available before we would approve them. And also Mike Trombley is the business manager for the department. Getting old. We had a great motor coach trip to the candle shop in South Deerfield just before Christmas. It was December 8th, and it was a great opportunity to start the Christmas season. They greeted us at the bus, gave us little buttons that gave us a discount, and the place was packed. It was great, good for us. Then I've been working with Little League and youth soccer. They're ready for their spring programs. The fields are all locked in for them. They've forwarded their insurance policies. They're ready to go. In fact, the youth soccer group has been using the gym at the community center for some indoor practice to get ready. Summer programs. I'm hoping to start another summer playground program with Mr. Vescher. He's had a great program a few years back, and I hope to start that up again. It'll be a 6 weeks program, starting probably the first week of July and run towards the end of August. People can sign up for a 1 week, 2 week, or all 6, however they wish to do it. With vacations coming right after school, which gets out, I believe it's on the 25th of June, I figured that it would be too early to start with the 4th of July weekend coming up, so I figured I would start the week after July 4th. Also, I'm hoping to start an after-school program in the fall. That's at the beginning of the process, so I don't have much to say on that yet. I have been in touch with one of the phys ed teachers who actually contacted me and suggested a program, and we're trying to work that together. Also, the summer concert series is in the planning staging right now. I've had many requests from bands that have performed previously. They're interested in coming back. It's going to all depend on how much money we raise in order to finalize that. But some bands have already been contacted. I've been working with Susie on the master plan for Southbridge. We're updating the Recreation Department information. I'm working on a program with the Board of Health. There's been a lot of press about concussions and head injuries. The Pop Warner group has already taken care of their folks. I've been working with Little League and soccer. Even though it's not a full contact sport, it can still happen. So I've forwarded to them information that was provided by the health department, and also included in that material, there's a checklist for the coaches so they can observe their players if they happen to have an accident out on the field. There's also another phase of that where all coaches will be able to go online and take a small course, 20 minutes to a half an hour for free, and get a certificate. At some point in the future, we're going to require that all coaches take that before they're allowed to be on the field. The adult basketball league that we're going to have at the community center is ready to go. Final sign-ups are March 16th, I believe it is, and the league will start on April 6th. It's going to be a 8-week program. It'll be, 10 weeks. It's going to be 8 weeks of regular play and then 2 weeks of playoffs. It'll be on Tuesday nights. And Jerry Deshane is the gentleman that's heading up that program. So if anybody needs any information, you can call me or you can contact Jerry. I've had an ad in the or a news brief in the on the sports page for 2.5 months now, and all of our information is on there. I'm looking for someone to head up a photography club for this summer. Though I wasn't here last summer, I heard that there was a great photography club, and unfortunately the lady that was heading that up has since moved and is unavailable. So I'm looking for somebody that knows a little bit about photography so we can get that program going. Next, I'll give you a little tour of the field and all the fields and what happens. We'll start with Morris Street. Morris Street has 2 softball fields. They have a basketball court, and they also have a playground. From there, we go to Henry Street, and I see that the Southbridge Softball Association is looking for players. They started this week. They'll be starting soon, and they run right through October. Great organization. They take care of themselves. They pay for the lights, and they're 7 days a week down there. I used to play in that before the Stone Age, and the league is a great league, a lot of fun. If you have an opportunity and you just like to watch softball, there's stands so you can sit there and have a good time. Also at Henry Street, there are 2 Little League fields. We have a couple basketball courts, and a playground. In the planning stage, there's a handball court. We have no date on when that could be installed, but it's in the planning stage. From there, we go to Capello Park. Capello Park has a basketball court and also a roller skate area. West Street's also a very large facility. We have 2 soccer fields. One can be used for field hockey. That's below the school. We have 4 tennis courts, and we're in the process of replacing those nets right now because they've been there since that place has been built, and the nets are pretty well shattered, so we're in the process of replacing them. Up above the school, there's a Little League field, and there's also another larger ball field where you can play a Babe Ruth ball and for that age. From there, we go to the res, and many of you older folks in town, I'm sure, remember what it was like during the wintertime at the res, with all the skating and then swimming in the summertime. Well, about 15 to 20 years ago, the res was at the point where they were going to demolish the building. So before that, they did that. The fire department did an exercise there, and a few of the firemen that were at that exercise, A.J. LaRochelle being the first, came up with the idea that by volunteering, they would be able to save that facility for us. And they do a great job, and I have nothing but praise for these guys. Most of them are from the fire department, and they do a great job. I was there today because they, with the Clear Burts fund, they were able to replace a tractor that they used to use to clear the ice. And at the first weekend that we were able to skate this year, the four-wheel drive unit broke and the thing was old and needed to be replaced. So they replaced the tractor, which will be in probably on Wednesday. Well, in order to get that tractor inside the building, they had to replace a garage door. I was there this morning, and AJ and his brother and another gentleman from the fire department were there, and they were working pretty hard trying to get that door back up so that it would be all closed up by tonight. So again, I have nothing but praise and thanks for those gentlemen. They spend an awful lot of time up there. They keep the place clean, they keep the water good, and they spend a lot of time there. They're very generous. There are 2 types of recreation. Most people, when they hear recreation, they think of sports and athletics. But there's also social recreation. People like to read, people like to go on a computer, people like to play cards, some people like dances. It's all good for the mind as well as your health. A healthy mind is a healthy body. I encourage anyone to go out there and do what you like to do. Don't be embarrassed. I bowl in the senior league on Wednesday morning, and believe me, there's nobody worse than me. And what's embarrassing for me is after my second week, I was sitting down and a lady 20 years older than me came up to me and said, "Ron, what are you doing after bowling today?" And I looked at her kind of funny, and I said, "Well, I have a few things to do." "Why?" "Well," she says, "I thought maybe if you stayed over, I could show you how to bowl." So don't be embarrassed. It's fun. Please get out, have a good time. Lastly, my office is located at the Senior Center. It's at 153 Charlton Street. Charlton Street. I'm thinking of school. 153 Chestnut Street. My office hours, I'm part-time, so my office hours are 9 to 12, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Wednesday afternoon from 1 to 4. Now, I usually work more than 15 hours a week, so if there's something that needs to be tended to, please don't be bashful. I've got nothing else to do. So, come anytime. My phone number is 508-764-6459, and my email address is rplouffe, P-L-O-U-F-F-E, at southbridgemass.org. Now, that video, I'm told, will be shown on Channel 13 very soon. So if you have an opportunity, take a look at it, give me a call, and tell me if I look stupid, or if you enjoy it, or if it was helpful. Any questions?
Just one quick one. I think that the Recreation Department, generally speaking, is one that often gets overlooked. It's not something that people tend to put up as a priority, but what would you say is the greatest challenge the Rec Department's facing? What help do you need?
It's called dollars, money. We have no budget virtually, so we work with fees or donations, like any other town. You know, it's not anything that's different. But as far as challenges, that was probably number one. Number two is trying to find volunteers. I had many years of experience with Harley Davidson, and they used to have, or still do, have conferences 4 times a year where they fly you out and they party for the weekend after they do all the classes and seminars. And probably the most attended is volunteerism. How do you get volunteers and how do you keep them? So those are probably the two most important things, or most needed.
Thank you.
Okay?
Anybody else? Thank you very much, Mr. Plouffe.
Okay.
I'm glad we still have a rec department. Glad we brought it back. Thank
My
you.
pleasure.
Okay. Next, we have citizens forum. Do I have any citizens in the audience that wish to come forward this evening?
Good evening, Monique Manna, 20 Maple Street. I'm here again to remind everybody of this, the badge campaign for the Cops and Kids program. We have our gold badges, which are $5, and we have our silver badges, which are $1. We'll gladly take 10, 20, 50, 5, 10, 15, doesn't matter. You'll start seeing these in several local businesses throughout town. You'll also see this poster right here. You see one of these, why don't you just stop in and, donate $1 or grab a badge or something for all your good citizens. Some of the places where to find these badges, right here, are Flood's Gas Station, Happy Dog Cafe, Pizza Chef, Zoe's Pizza, Minute Mart, the Bridge of Youth Center on Main Street. I ran into a gentleman today named Cliff Fontaine, and he took 100 badges from me for the canvas shop in the corner pocket. Planter's Envy. And of course, the last 2 weeks of March, we have Big Bunny and Dunkin' Foment, not Dunkin' Donuts, Dunkin' Foment, and they'll be kicking off the campaign for the Cops and Kids badges. So, again, they need your support. This is for the kids. This is for the youth in our community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other citizens wishing to come?
I had a question.
You have a question for Monique?
Yes. How long does the fundraiser go? Is it just through the month of March?
Like I noted last week, and I'll mention it again, I apologize for not mentioning it just a few minutes ago, the badge campaign is for the entire month of March.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Before I move on, I do have one other question for Mr. Plouffe. Mr. Plouffe,
Okay.
the pool, the state pool, will that be opening this year, and what's the story on that?
The plans are to have it open. Right now, the town and the state are in negotiations right now as to who's going to run it and how it'll be run.
Okay, thank you. Did you
Okay.
have, that's it, right?
That was good.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, moving on. No other citizens wishing to come forward? I'm going to go on to agenda item number 9. Vote to reappoint Melinda Ernst Fournier as treasurer for a 3-year term to expire June 30th, 2016.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Can I have a roll call, please?
Councilor Langevin?
Yes.
Councilor Moriarty?
Yes.
Councilor Nicola?
Yes.
Councilor Peliquin?
Yes.
Councilor Regis?
Yes.
Councilor Vandal?
Yes.
Councilor Clements?
Yes.
7 yes.
Thank you. Agenda item number 10, vote to reappoint Wilfred B. Canoyer as principal assessor for a 3-year term to expire June 30th, 2016.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilor Moriarty?
Yes.
Councilor Nicola?
Yes.
Councilor Peliquin?
Yes.
Councilor Regis?
Yes.
Councilor Vandal?
Yes.
Councilor Clements?
Yes.
Councilor Langevin?
Yes.
7 yes.
Thank you. Okay. Agenda item number 11, Councilors' Forum. I'm going to start with Councilor Moriarty.
Okay. I didn't get a chance to take a look at this myself firsthand, but I did get a phone call an hour or so before the meeting. There's, down at that, down by North Woodstock Road, Old North Woodstock Road, where the work is being done, apparently there is an orange barrel on the sidewalk there down by Ideal Pools. Apparently it looks like it's going up as a telephone pole or utility pole, and it looks as if it's kind of smack dab in the middle of the sidewalk. So the person calling was a little bit concerned that if and when that is built, especially if Ideal Pools puts their fence back up, which from what they understand is supposed to be is the game plan, that it would only leave maybe 18 inches to kind of squeeze through there, which for anyone who's larger or is otherwise handicapped or something to that effect would be pretty difficult and would really kind of leave you either to kind of try and squeeze through or veer off to the other side into traffic. So just kind of, again, I haven't had a chance to see it myself, but if that's something we can look into and kind of proactively mitigate if possible. And then lastly, same as I had mentioned last week, and kind of fitting considering we have the relay folks here, there's going to be the Bunny Breakfast on Saturday, March 23rd, Knights of Columbus, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tickets are $5 each, all the money going towards the Relay for Life. Music, games, food. Food will be from Elm Center here in town, pancakes, French toast, sausage, bacon, again, all that for $5. And there'll also be a professional photographer on hand to take pictures of the kids with the Easter Bunny for an additional donation. People who are interested in tickets can either contact myself at 774-230-6870 or Malia Moriarty at 774-230-2003. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Vandal?
Oh, thank you. I wonder when the street sweeper's going to start cleaning the streets. Maybe we could put a little fire under them and, get it going. Because some of the streets got a lot of sand. I know it's still winter and we're still going to sand, but we could start. Thank you.
That's it?
That's it.
Counselor Peliquin, want to try to talk?
I was going to say, I'm almost afraid to talk. And I just had one quick thing. There was an article in the Telegram surrounding controversy about counselors' absences at meetings, and although I was not mentioned within the text of the article, it said there was a little box next to the article that listed everybody's attendance record, and it listed me as having an unexcused absence, so I just wanted to throw that out there. I did have one absence, but I believed I was excused.
You were excused, you were
So-
sick.
Yes, I was sick, so...
You were excused.
I called Brian Lee and I asked him if they would do a correction, and he said they would, but I know that nobody ever reads corrections, so I just wanted to address that so that people knew. I didn't actually have an unexcused absence. I tried very hard to come to all of the meetings. So, there's one time I was sick, and that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Counselor Regis?
I have nothing this evening. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Counselor Langevin?
Nothing this evening. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Counselor Clements?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Today I had the privilege of being over at the Community Center for the senior lunch, which generally occurs on the first Monday of each month. They do a wonderful job, and kudos to Pat, who whips up wonderful food for everybody. And I would encourage you seniors out there, if you'd like to get out and share a meal at least once a month, it is available to you, and you can contact them over at the Community Center. Occasionally it falls on the second Monday based on holidays and such. For instance, in April, rather than the Monday right after Easter, since Pat will be cooking Easter, it'll happen on the following Monday. I believe it's the 11th. So I encourage you. It's a great chance to get out with your neighbors and your friends of your same age and enjoy. Sometimes they have programs involved, and it's a great opportunity. I enjoy going there almost every month when I'm in town. But it's a great opportunity to share. I was also glad to hear today when I was talking to Mr. Trombley that the Central Las Americas group is still meeting on Tuesdays and Thursdays there, and that's wonderful because it's a great asset to our community, and with cooperation from the town and free rent in the building, and then apparently they found some funds for the budget for their director. They are still meeting, and so I think that's a wonderful thing here in our community. So that just a little update on some things happening at the community center. And lastly, I would like to reach out and congratulate Charlene Laporte on her retirement. Charlene was with the town for over 20 years. She was in the accounting department. She was with the town manager for quite some time. And recently, I believe it was the retirement board department here at the town hall. And so congratulations, Charlene. A well-deserved retirement to you. I'm sure you'll enjoy your family and your grandchildren and have more time for dinner. So enjoy your years. You've earned them. And congratulations to all your service to the town.
Thank you. Okay. Next is the discussion of our next meeting date.
That is scheduled for March 18th, Monday, March 18th, right here in council chambers. I believe there'll be a longer agenda on the 18th.
Thank you. Okay. And agenda item number 13 is vote to enter into executive session according to Mass General Law, Chapter 39, Section 23B, to discuss strategy relating to litigation and to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Can I have a roll call, please?
Councilor Nicola?
Yes.
Councilor Peliquin?
Yes.
Councilor Regis?
Yes.
Councilor Vandal?
Yes.
Councilor Clements?
Yes.
Councilor Langevin?
Yes.
Councilor Moriarty?
Yes.
7 yes?
Thank you.